Good morning, everyone. Take your seats, and we'll get this program started. All right, it's great to be here today. I'm Craig Redmond. I'm the director of the Division of Energy, and I'd like to thank you guys for joining us here to celebrate the first success story from the Municipal Utility Energy Loan Program. And that's a mouthful, but it's a good mouthful. I've been with the program for the division for a few years now, and I have to say how proud we are to have been a part of this relief effort. We participated, and now I'd like to introduce our distinguished staff here today, or not staff, program. First, we have Governor Mike Parsons. We have Acting Director of DNR, Drew Bunton. We have Mayor Lau Canal, and Division Superintendent for Utilities, Darren Dunlap. I'd like to take just a second to commend my team. The governor signed House Bill 15 on May the 13th, and by June the 2nd, the program was up and running. By June the 8th, we had the first check out the door. They did a phenomenal job. They say you're only as good as the people that you surround yourself with, and I'm very lucky to have this team around me. Our first speaker this morning is Acting Director of the Department of Natural Resources, Drew Bunton. Drew?
Thanks, Craig. On behalf of the Missouri Department of Natural Resources, I just want to say how excited and gratified I am to be here today to help shine a light on the program that Craig described. I think it's some of the best work that the department has done this year, and the speed with which our team saw the need and was able to respond and get this moving, understanding how important it was for communities like Fulton to have this happen in a timely way. If you think back through the fog of everything that's happened since February, you'll probably remember that the winter struck a pretty hard blow to the entire mid part of the country in February, and here in Missouri we had record-breaking low temperatures not seen in generations. It gave folks no choice but to bump up those thermostats and keep them up for days on end. The collective surge in the energy demand combined with the widespread supply issues triggered a dramatic spike in the wholesale natural gas and electricity costs. This pushed many Missouri communities already struggling to the point of desperation, and they needed help. Governor Parson answered the call for this help by leading a bipartisan effort to establish a relief fund that would help ease the sudden, unforeseen economic impact that these sky-high energy costs were having on Missouri communities. On May 13th, Governor Parson signed House Bill 15 into law. The new law directed $50 million toward the creation of the Municipal Utility Emergency Loan Program. The loan program provides zero-interest loans to municipal utilities to assist in spreading out the budget impact of these higher wholesale energy prices over a longer period of time. The Department of Natural Resources team is excited to be a part of the program. Led by the Division of Energy staff that Craig introduced, we have worked diligently to ensure the program's success, and we are dedicated to being good stewards of the Missouri taxpayer money. We sincerely appreciate Governor Parson's leadership to quickly and effectively respond to a critical Missouri community need. It is now my distinct privilege to introduce the 57th Governor of the great state of Missouri, Governor Mike Parson.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Thanks, everybody, for being here this morning. You know, it seems like so many times with everything going on, it's not very many happy occasions, what we went through, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. I want to say sometimes when you do go through some of these crises that we faced, I'm just so proud of Missouri and the people and the citizens of this state always come to the forefront and figure out a way to come up with solutions. And I think that's exactly what we did by this program here. I know the senators here and representatives are here, and I want to thank them for their part. of this. This can't have happened if they hadn't have done their part in the legislative branches to be able to get this done. I want to thank DNR and their team for actually putting this together in a very timely manner. As you well know, we were hit with multiple things at that time with crisis, and to be able to make this $50 million available, and Mayor, to get it to your cities, I think Fulton was one of the first applications that we had, so congratulations to that. So evidently somebody took notice of that. So you ought to get a little credit for that one. The other thing I want to say that I've said all along during this entire time, we're here to help the cities and municipalities, and I think we're up to close to almost 40 municipalities as part of this $40 million, this first tranche that we're getting out. But I think it's also important to remember, yes, we're giving interest-free notes to the counties, to the cities, the municipalities. But I've been pretty adamant about this. I want to make sure that that gets passed down to the consumers out there. They're the ones that got hit the hardest, the ones that had to pay the bill. We had lots of resources for the low-income side, a lot of utility support, a lot of things we could do for them. But who always gets left out sometimes in these programs is the middle-class working people out there, and we got to make sure and take care of them to do whatever we can to help them through that also. So I encourage you to do that. I know you do that from the utility and these small towns, but that's important to me to make sure we don't forget those people that got caught in that too, to be able to do that. So hopefully it has that trickle-down effect. We do our part at the state government to partner with the cities and utilities, and then we can pass that down to the consumers on that. These are the kind of things that I think are the examples since I've been governor that I've got to see so many different times, and even with the crisis on top of all that we've been through. One thing about going through that crisis probably made us more efficient of how we can distribute to get through the bureaucracy and get money out quicker to the people that really need it. I think this is a perfect example of what we learned from that. We were able to institute and put this into place to get that to the people that needed it the worst. So I think that's the good thing. The other thing I'll always stress to you, it's never about the federal government, it's never solely about the state government, and it's not solely about the cities and the counties. It's about all of us. And if we will all get on the same page to try to help one another out with the resources we have, we can do incredible things. And we have done that in this state. Time and time again, we've answered a call when tough times has happened. So it's great to be here in Fulton. One of the fun things I get to do is I think we're going to present Mayor, if I'm not mistaken, about $3.4 million check to the city of Fulton, and however you cut that, that's a big check, is all I can tell you. For an old farm boy, that sounds like a lot of money to me. But we're going to present that. I don't know who else is going to be up here for this presentation, but Drew, you and your team and the mayor, come on up. We're just more than happy to be able to present that to you here today.
Thanks for being here. Appreciate
You're welcome. You're welcome.
all you've done this last year.
All right. Come on, we'll sit over here to the side, really. Yeah. I don't know. I wonder if everybody's ever put one in the drive-thru. We're going to do that sometime. Take it there. Come on. Oh, in front of the podium.
All right. I want to thank Governor Parsons for being here today and leading the effort to provide relief to the impacted communities. Now at this time, I'd like to invite City of Fulton's Mayor Lyle Cannell and Superintendent of Utilities Darrell Dunlap up if they'd like to say a few words.
Thank you, Craig. Thank you for everyone for being here today, especially our Governor Parson, taking time out of your busy schedule. I'll make my comments brief, but I would like to just say that today puts the spotlight back on, of course, the extreme cold snap that we had last winter. It was devastating to a lot of communities, just like ours. Even though we were somewhat prepared for an event like this, it was easily the most catastrophic financial event that Fulton's ever had. So it's a big deal. We know that it's going to take years to replenish the funds that were spent that weekend. But the actions today by the state of Missouri and Governor Parson with this no interest loan will help ensure stability for the city of Fulton for many years to come, and while we figure out how to rebuild the reserves that were spent. We know, of course, that anything can happen tomorrow, just like the tornado that ripped through Jefferson City a couple years ago. That could happen here just as easily. So to have those funds back in place is crucial for us. And it's nice to know that when municipalities face crisis, that the state of Missouri doesn't turn their back. The state of Missouri, the great state of Missouri, has our back. So we appreciate that very much. To close, on behalf of the citizens of Fulton, I just want to say thank you again to Governor Parson for being here today and presenting that big old fat check. Thank you. All right, Daryl.
Thanks everybody for being here today. During cold weather, natural gas prices always go up. Fulton in February had bought for the average February, and we had made two purchases, one for $4.50 a unit and one for $2.45. But the event we're talking about, the prices rose to $224 for several days. And if you want to compare that, that's like going to the gas station one day and buying gas for $2.45, and then a couple of days later stopping and filling up your tank again for $224 a gallon. So the city's natural gas system is owned and accountable to the citizens of Fulton. And during that cold weather event, the citizens stepped up. They actually turned their thermostats down. There was pleas. I know the mayor put it on his Facebook page and asked and challenged people, and people did that. And we really appreciate that help because we needed it. One of the problems we had as a city was, how long is this event going to go? We went through our whole natural gas budget for the year in those days. And as Monday started and Tuesday started, the questions was, how much longer is this going to go? We can't take another 5 days of this. But we did try, and we struggled with, how do we not make this a financial burden on the community, on the citizens? And this is basically what I just said is what we went to the state legislature and the governor's office, and this is the story we told. And the state government responded, and we appreciate that, and we thank them for that. And we did keep the homes warm for the citizens. We did not know what kind of pressure drops was going to be on the system because this was a disaster. So the natural gas guys and gals of the city spent that weekend checking regulator stations, making sure to keep the pressures up because our main goal was to keep the houses warm. And we appreciate it very much, Governor. Thank you.
All right. I'd like to thank everyone for being here today. I especially want to thank Governor Parsons for his leadership on this program. It's a great program. It's benefited a lot of municipalities. And I want to remind everybody that we're still accepting applications on this program. And we'll be through the end of 2022, June 2022. So thank you guys for attending today. Thank you, Governor. Thanks, Drew. Everybody have a great day.